Hey everyone, welcome back to another weekly market update for the week ending September 20th, 2024. This week's numbers are actually really surprising to me. I was surprised to see some of these numbers. So let's go ahead and jump into them. By the way, I'm Chad Scott with Epique Realty. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this about Kenosha and the surrounding area, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified every time that I upload a new video to YouTube. Now let's get into these numbers real quick. So first we always start here with the market action index number. So it is at 56 for this week. It's a decrease from 61 of last week. So what's that mean? So that means that we're getting closer and closer to that magic number of 30 here, which brings us closer and closer to the buyer's market number. Are we actually getting closer to a buyer's market? It really doesn't feel like it because sellers are still getting multiple offers if their house is in move-in ready condition and priced right. But the numbers are kind of leaning towards that way. We are seeing more and more price reductions. I'll get into it in a little bit here. Listing prices are coming down a little bit. So, according to the data, we are getting closer and closer to a buyer's market here in Kenosha area. Will it actually happen by the end of this year? I have no idea. We'll just have to wait and see what actually happens. The median list price, if you remember the median list price, this is the list price of everything that's currently on the market. Everything that's new and what's on the market that's also not new is currently at $369.9, so $370,000. That's actually down from last week. Last week was at 375, so it's actually down quite a bit from last week. Almost $5,000. Doesn't seem like a lot of money, but for a seller, if you're a seller, $5,000 is a big deal. Again, another sign that we're getting closer and closer to a buyer's market. If you look at the median price for a new listing, so this is what they're listing new listings at, we're down to $305,000 basically. That's actually down from last week of almost $330,000. That's a big difference. That's a difference of $25,000. So what this tells me is that when listing agents are looking at the data, they're looking at closed sales. So when you list a house, you look at closed sales in an area. You look at what a house closed at, and you look at that price, and you go to Mr. and Mrs. Seller, and you say, this house over here sold for this price, and this house over there sold for this price. I recommend that we list your house for this price because all these houses sold for this price. So if we list your house for this price, it should also sell for close to what these houses sold for. So it's telling me that these houses are closing or selling for lower than what they have been selling for. So they're listing houses for a lower price, which means we're getting closer and closer to a buyer's market, which is why this number here, this market action index number, is getting lower. Price per square foot is actually staying about the same. It's actually staying exactly the same, $203 per square foot. So if you like to go by the square feet price, which I know some people are big about that, it's staying exactly the same. Average days on market is staying pretty much the same, 65 days. It was 68 last week. Not much of a change there, pretty much the same. Median days on the market, which I think is a little bit more of a telltale sign of what the market is doing, is 28 this past week. It was 25 the week before that. Again, pretty much the same, not much of a change there for the Kenosha market. Price decreases, 34.3% the week before, 35.2% this past week. Again, not much of a change there. But again, 35% of houses that are listed are decreasing their prices for whatever reason. Either they're staying on the market for too long or the sellers are getting impatient and they want to sell a little bit quicker. They're getting poor feedback saying that their houses are listed high. Whatever the reason may be, they're lowering their price to try and sell a little bit quicker. So, price decreases are showing us that we're heading closer and closer to that buyer's market. So, again, it's just showing us that we're getting closer and closer to this buyer's market over here. Price increases, like I said last week, I think this is just a mistake number. This actually has not, it actually went down from last week, probably just because, it's an older number, so you can just throw this number out. Number of relisted, so expired listings, and then they had to be relisted. It's pretty much the same, 15%. It actually went up a little bit, so it's closer to 15.5% this past week. So the number of listings that were expired, they didn't sell, and they were relisted either with the same agent or a different agent to try a different marketing technique, is still about 15%. In a healthy market, you want to see 10% or less of listings relisted. So the fact that we're at 15% of listings being relisted is a sign that we're definitely heading towards a buyer's market. So this 15% is a sure sign that we're heading towards a buyer's market in the Kenosha area. Inventory. So this is the active number of listings that are on the market right now that you can actively go out there and buy. These are not under contract. These are not pending. These are houses you can actively go out there and tour, take a look at, and then put an offer on, and the sellers could potentially accept. There are 71 houses in the Kenosha address, with a Kenosha address that you could put an offer on, and the sellers could accept. There are 71 houses that are active right now. That's up from 67. So again, a sign that we're heading to a buyer's market. If we were in a seller's market, this number would be going down, because with less inventory it means that the sellers have the upper hand. But more inventory, the buyers have more choices, and the buyers have an upper hand. So the more inventory we have, the more of a buyer's market we're going into. And if we look at this number, at this chart down here, we can look at price increases. We can look at from June 5th to now. So this is segmenting based on the price of the house. So this top 90, these are the higher price houses. Well, here, we'll just filter them all out. So bottom 90, this is like the lower price houses. These are like houses basically 250 and less. This is kind of where most people are. You can see inventory is kind of flat right now. This is just because this is where most people are buying houses at right now. And if you look at this one, this is kind of middle of the road houses, 300 and up. These houses are still selling really fast. That's why this inventory is also kind of flat. And if you look at this, inventory actually went down on this since June, just because, these houses were basically 350 and up houses. Inventory on this has actually been kind of flat just because these houses were 350 and up. And they're not super sought after. They are, but in the Kenosha market, there's not a lot of people that are looking for houses that are priced 350 and up. And then if you look at what I consider luxury prices, this is what's shooting our inventory up right now. These houses are kind of staying in the market right now. They're just not moving. There's not a lot of people that are looking for luxury houses. I consider luxury in the Kenosha market to be $500,000 and up. And these houses are just sitting in the market, pushing days on market up. And these houses are mostly having the price drops. We're seeing price drops in all price points across the Kenosha market, but mostly the luxury price points. But yeah, we're seeing inventory go up across all of Kenosha and Kenosha County, and even Racine, and even down in Illinois. We're seeing, I'm licensed in Illinois also, but we're seeing the days on market go up in Illinois as well. Median rent has stayed the same from last week to this past week at about $2,200. And then again, the market action index number is going down towards a buyer's market here. So if you are a buyer, this is good news for you because we're getting closer towards a a market that you want to be in. You know, you have more of an upper hand. You can get hopefully a lower price on the house. You can get the seller to chip in towards your closing costs. If you're a seller, have we seen the top of the market? Possibly. I can't answer that for you. I don't know. Nobody has that crystal ball. What we're kind of seeing right now is that lull in the market because of the election. We see this every 4 years when there's a presidential election. A lot of buyers and sellers just kind of hold off until after the presidential election to see who gets elected, to see if their candidate wins or loses. Then they decide what they're going to do. So we have no idea what's going to happen after this election. The market always picks up after the election. I can tell you that home prices are still at all-time highs right now. So if you are looking to sell, waiting could be in your best interest. It may not be. I don't know. We'd have to have that discussion to figure that out for sure. So in this past week, there were 11, 13, 16 new listings. So in the luxury market, there were 3 new listings, and 3 of them were sold for a median day on the market of 56. In the price tier below that, there were 2 new listings, with 2 of them sold for an average day on market of 24. And then in that like $300,000 to $400,000 price range, there were 6 new listings, with only 3 of them sold, with an average days on market of 10. And in that price range that everybody wants to be in, that basically I would say like 150 to 250 price range, there were 5 new listings, with 4 of them sold, with an average days on market of 14. So that's kind of the Kenosha market in a snapshot. There's a lot more to this report here. If you guys want to dive deeper into it, I can email you a link to it. You can play around with it. You can look into it. If you guys like this, if you found it useful, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to know when I drop new videos about everything Kenosha, I do small business highlights. I do new property tours. I do videos like this every week. I do all kinds of things Kenosha related. If you guys have any ideas for me to do videos about Kenosha, drop them in the comments. Shoot me a text, give me a call. Happy to answer anything that's real estate related or not. Just happy to talk to anybody. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd be happy to talk to you guys anytime about anything. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video.